One thing that I learned very early on was that if I wanted to be successful, I needed to pick a niche. So I needed to pick one specific thing that I would do so that I could become the go-to person in that industry. Like, writing and editing is very broad, right? So being a writer isn't a niche. Being an editor isn't a niche. But what I decided to do when I was starting my business was do editing, but specifically for ebooks. So we narrowed it down to a small little audience of people. And then I went where the clients already were because I didn't know anybody who needed people editing ebooks for them. So I actually went to Fiverr, which Fiverr still exists, but I would, this is so crazy to think about how far I've come, but I would charge $5 to edit an entire ebook for people when I was starting out, just so I could get clients, just so I could get reviews. And I was doing this and working my butt off towards it. And then my clients ended up being entrepreneurs who were writing ebooks because they wanted to get their expertise out there and get their voice out there and attract their audience. And so they started asking me to write things for them. And so I started writing social media posts for them, and I started writing blog posts for them and a website copy. And before I knew it, I had enough clients who needed that stuff consistently from me that I could move off of the Fiverr platform and actually start my own website, start my own business, and leave my job in Korea and like make a living at what I was doing, which is pretty incredible. So from the moment I started charging for what I was doing until the moment I made enough money to pay for rent was about 6 months, 5 months. And then it's just grown ever since then. And that was more than 6 years ago.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, everybody has a different story, but the fact that you're still successful, it's one thing to get like the success early on, but it's another thing to keep it moving. I mean, you've been going hard for a while, and I'm just saying, like, I'm super excited for you because it feels like it's never ending. It feels like there's so much opportunity because content is king now, and so many people need writers, and so many people can't write, that a gift like yours is super valuable. But how do you keep it going and evolving? It must be exciting because it started at at the Fiverr, and then it went into social media, and now you write all kinds of different things. So what do you do to keep it, to keep it growing? What kind of things do you do? What are your tricks? You don't have to give away everything, but maybe one or two.
So some of the things that I did early on in the business to help me get clients, I really did focus on where the clients were. And so I took B school, like before I had any money to take B school. I asked my parents you hear those like people about those people who create like slideshow presentations when they're kids, and they're like, this is why I want a dog, and this is all the reasons I deserve a dog.
Yeah.
For B school, like I'd made like a slideshow presentation for my parents about why they should pay for me to go to Marie Forleo's B school, and they did, which was amazing. I did not expect them to say yes. I was prepared to like find a way to put it on the credit card or whatever to do it myself because I was committed, but they said yes. And so once I was in that community with all of these other women who were building businesses, oh my gosh, the importance of having a community cannot be overstated, P.S. That's why I'm so excited about what you're doing. Because like when you first start a business, you feel kind of like nuts because everybody looks at you like, what are you doing? There's a safer way to do this. You won't have health insurance. Like they have all these reasons about why they're scared about what you're doing with your life.
I know.
And so I followed the clients. What they were asking me for, because that was proof that they were willing to pay for it. Like if I had chosen to stay as an ebook editor, I wouldn't be where I am today. I had to say yes to the next opportunity and the next opportunity and the next opportunity, go where the clients were, and then keep raising my prices as I did that. And I had to build my business in a way where my clients needed me over and over again. So copy is one of those things that you don't need once sales copy is something that you need it for your website, and you need it for your sales emails, and you need it for your social media, and you need it every time you want to launch a new like product or offer or program to your people. You need words to be able to sell that to them. And I was finding a lot of entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, were not comfortable having conversations about how to sell themselves and why they were important and why their shit was going to change your life and what made them so transformational and what kind of mission they were on. Like, they loved doing the coaching and the helping people, but they didn't like it. They didn't like talking about themselves.
I agree. I agree.
Problem.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I agree, though. I'm sometimes that way. Like, I can talk to you in the face all day long about it, but when it comes to writing about it and presenting it and promoting myself, sometimes I get a little queasy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm not
so
shy.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not shy.
No, absolutely not. And so people are like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So,
and that's totally normal. I've met so many women who are just afraid to sell themselves and put themselves out there, and that's part of like finding your voice. That's part of getting a job. That's part of, asking for what you want and becoming the woman that you're supposed to become, is like asking for those things.
It is so true. This week I've been posting a lot about networking and the shameless ask. Yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. You just have to just put it out there. Totally. And I love how you follow the clients. So smart.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, right? That's where your money's coming from.
That's exactly right. You don't have clients, you don't have a business, but it's so many people just don't get that. Like, it's weird, but they just, don't get that. So
it's true. And in the beginning, I did a lot of stuff I didn't like just to see how I felt about it. To be like, oh, yeah, cool. I don't like working with this type of person. Now I know that. Okay. I don't like discounting my prices. Now I know that. Okay. I don't like doing this kind of thing. Now I know that. And so each time where I did something and I got burned on the other side of it was just a lesson that helped me put those boundaries in place. Right. And so that's why now I'm in a place where I just say no to people when they come to me, and I'm like, no, I don't want to work with you. That's not going to work for me. That's not going to be fun for me. But it didn't start that way. When I started, I said yes to like everybody, so I could do the research basically and get really good at what I was doing and put in those 10,000 expert hours. Like, I was not above, like I said, I was not above writing things for $5 just so that I could get the experience for doing that. And I feel like we need, like, if you really want to be successful, like, there is an element of hustle to it in the beginning. And some people never stop hustling. Like, I've got clients who are millionaires, multimillionaires, and they hustle like more than they let on that they do. And we can't be afraid to put in those woman hours and to do that work and to really go for what we want.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce behind all the glitz.
Yeah, it's not glamorous, right? It's not like, oh, yeah, I was on my laptop until really late, and I, had to send emails to everybody who ever reached out to me to see if they needed coffee. Like, that's not sexy. Nobody wants to say that, but like, that is what it takes sometimes.
That's what it takes. I'm working 7 days a week. My husband, I don't even know what the weekend is. He knows because he has a different kind of job. Oh, it's Saturday. I'm going to chill. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Maybe in an hour or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it took me 6 years to take weekends off. I just started taking weekends off in like 2019 because I fell in love with someone who was doing a 9 to 5, and it was like he could only see me nights and weekends, and I was like, well, I guess I better not be working on my business if I want to see this person that I love. And I mean, it took that to get me to take off nights and weekends. But
well, yeah, you had to apply the boundary lesson to yourself.
I did.
Boundary lesson. Love with things we do for love, girl. Okay. I ask this to all my guests because great advice. But what would you tell your younger self, or what would you give these young women, one piece of advice that you could offer?
Oh my God. Okay, let's go somewhere we haven't went yet.
Okay.
I feel like this generation is better at doing this than my generation was. But one of the things that made me who I am today was really, and this is a big part of finding your voice, and this is a big part of why a lot of women can't sell themselves, and from knowing from conversations and clients and programs and all of the things that I've done, there's like something that happens around finding your voice that happens when you start to heal any like trauma that you've been through. So pretty much everybody has trauma. You can read statistics about it, but they'll say that like 70% of people have trauma. I've never met anybody who didn't have some kind of trauma in their life. And I believe that trauma, if we don't process it and feel it and move through it, gets stored in our body, and especially for women, keeps us from doing the shameless ask and keeps us from promoting ourselves and keeps us from doing the networking thing and starting the business and blah, blah, blah. Because even though we don't realize it, we're reminded of something that happened to us when we were 14 and some jerk thing, some person said, whatever, that we got that's stored in our body. And so it may not seem relevant, but it is. And that is, I needed me, and I need you guys to work on any trauma that you've been through and like heal it and feel it and move through it, whatever method you want to do that. But I just, in my experience of doing this work for 6 years and working with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of women, you will act differently, you will feel differently, you will get different kinds of results when you work on that stored trauma that you have.
Can you do that with your clients?
I do sometimes, yeah. I'm a certified a Reiki healer, so sometimes we'll do that. Sometimes we'll do like witchy little rituals.
Amazing.
And, we'll do EFT, emotional freedom technique, on our group calls sometimes in programs that I teach in, and we'll do visualizations and play with different like goddesses and pull tarot cards and pull oracle cards and all the things. I send crystals to my clients sometimes. Yeah. So I like to work on that stuff with energy work, but also like a really good therapy. And emotional freedom technique is one that I use with all of my clients. Do you know emotional freedom technique, EFT?
I do. I use it. Yeah. It's a great healing technique, and also I experienced it in Louisa's program as well, the program where we met. So I agree with what you're saying. We have to wrap up now, but I do want to say one thing. I have experienced this myself, where I had a healing to do around a certain issue, and it took me a really long time to realize that, but it's happened actually in the past couple of years, and I've taken Supergirl so much further because of that. So I'm so glad that you touched on that. That is super valuable, and I want to thank you again for taking the time to be on this show and on this podcast and being in my life. You're really amazing, and I'm so inspired by you. So thank you.
Thank you, my love.
And if our listeners want to get in touch with Big Love and Better Copy, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I'm Lauren Vanessa Zink in all the places. So Facebook, Instagram, and my website. So come say hi. Tell me you listened to those episodes. Tell me what your takeaways were. And if I can help you, girls, ask me. Do the shameless ask.
That is so kind and generous. Thank you so much. They would be blessed. And thanks again. Okay, listeners, thanks for being here. Listeners, thanks for being here. Go out there, slay dragons, be bold, brave, and boss. Until next week.